Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Mark.
Yes, Scott.
Holy shit! If we didn't post this coming week, if this episode that we're recording, not this penis, this episode that we're recording wasn't going to post this coming week, then it would have been 4 weeks without anything on the channel. So
really, 4 weeks with nothing on the channel. It has been a while. I've missed your face. I've missed your voice whispering into my ears.
I know. Yes, your deep masculine, that bit of saltiness at the back of the throat. Been missing you. How you doing?
I've got a slight headache, but I'm gonna get over it with some high quality H2O.
Okay, good. I was just like, is there beer in there?
No. I stopped drinking about an hour and a half ago.
That's right. You had relatives.
Dakota's bachelor party.
And yeah, a bachelor party too.
Yes. It was good though. I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh shit! Tell me nothing because I told someone I would wait to see it with them. Entirely
entertaining. You know, I feel like just like any Marvel movie, it's just very entertaining. That's all I'll say about it.
Good.
Like
that's basically what I've heard. Goes beyond expectations of a sequel. Shit like that. So yeah, you've been having a bit of a tumult, which is kind of why we haven't been recording. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Isn't that like one of our rambles is just fucking talking about life?
True. Curveballs or you know, I'm just gonna put it up there. Curved balls. There, you know, when he drops the trow in front of you, ladies, or you gentlemen out there, when he drops trow and the balls just have this like curve to them, and you're just like, how am I going to take this seriously? Like,
I feel like if we had like sound effects, that would be one where it'd be like whoop.
We are not a radio talk show. I expect better from you than this.
I know. I'm a terrible person. Just fucking ignore me.
So, yeah, before we actually get into the ramble for this here segment, welcome to Great Scott Marcus here on Ramble Entertainment. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark. And we have this kind of podcast where we talk about stuff in our lives, stuff going on in the news, and yeah, before we get into all that, I also want to say that there's going to be a half episode next week that I will record myself, a Just Scott No Marcus episode, which is going to have a lot to do with channel updates, talking about what's going on in my life, where the Warframe content is, especially because that is a huge part of this channel, and I said I would be back with it, and I'm not. And just a really quick aside as to why, basically I've kind of started picking up so many hours that I'm at full-time, and now I'm even starting to step into full-time hours intentionally, and this shit happens, and this is still a hobby, and it's going to continue to be a hobby that I want to maintain. But that does mean that
it's a good hobby.
Yeah, and that means that, you know, like, this prepared content, like the video game Warframe content, takes a lot more time, and I want to come at it more prepared than I did last season. So yeah, that's really a lot to that. Anyways, getting back into it, Mark, how are you?
Oh, I'm great right now, to be honest with you. I'm fantastic.
I'm feeling pretty good too.
Good.
Yeah,
feeling good is just fucking fantastic.
Well, you know, I will say this. It's been a couple, maybe even a few weeks of some pretty high highs and some pretty low lows. Just pain level. Which I'll kind of, again, dive into more next week if I take the time to record it this week, which I probably won't. Yeah, pain level's going way down because I'm working out a lot, lost 15 pounds, stomach's flat again, which hasn't been in a long time, so very proud of that. But
it should be.
You know,
it definitely should be.
One of the large issues of still being stuck in this body is that it is going to continue to be a chemically imbalanced body, and that fucks with me a lot. I can get really in my head, and that's a bad place to be, as you, I think, just said. And yeah, so like today feeling good, but like yesterday was just like fucking So
I had one of those earlier this past week where it was like a life anxiety attack where I was just like, what am I doing?
Why are you going to throw up? Oh my God.
It's kind of what it felt like, but throwing up out of my brain directly onto who the fuck knows what. It was just an awful feeling of just like, I don't know what I'm doing with life.
Mm.
But I got over that real quickly, actually. It was kind of nice.
Also feeling pretty positive about yeah, like life stuff, just a lot of stuff progressing in life.
Yeah.
Been having a lot of application opportunities popping up and applying. Heard back from one, but still more opportunities to apply to. So yeah, we shall see, and maybe dive into that another time. Mark.
No, I mean, just based off that, as of recently, I've actually had a lot of kind of positive vibes heading my way.
Even though it's kind of
get into this.
Even though it's been see how okay, yeah. So let's go. First ramble is curved balls. When you see them, what is your reaction?
Well, it's good because I wouldn't expect balls to be cubic. Really.
See, my reaction as a mostly straight man who still appreciates the male form would still be like, sir, why are you showing me your genitalia? And should I call an adult?
Maybe he's just like, dude, these things are like fucking melons right now. Take a look. They are just swollen for no reason. Like, you need to see a doctor, sir.
As someone who is working out very often lately and hearing about getting swole, I just imagine someone doing reps with their cock. And
you only need to do one, man. That's all you need.
No, it's a multiple kind of motion. Anyway,
all right.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole as sometimes we often go too far.
Sorry,
so
I'm not quite.
Yes.
Sober.
Yeah, I know. Curve balls, as in basically things that happen in life. So.
Yeah. It's been a fucky couple weeks for me, man.
It's been kind of a fucky year for you.
I'm completely fine with just completely getting rid of the month of April. Basically, last April, a year ago, was a shit show for me. And this month of April was another shit show. So I'm just done with the month of April. I think next April, I might just take myself into a mental institution, get myself a nice little white jacket, padded room.
Well, it was also, back in like January where you had that thing happen.
That was April.
Oh, no, not the recent things. The never mind. We basically have said that we're not going to talk about that in particular on the show.
When I went on that date, that was last April.
Oh, wow, it was that long ago? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I remembered snow, so I was thinking that it was still...
it's Ohio weather, man.
But yeah, man, it's been...
Yeah, that was last April.
Wow.
So that kind of made this April just much more shitty, because I'm like, I can't believe it's been a year since that. And then all of a sudden, bad shit happened this April. And
I thought I was working then. Damn.
I'm just gonna fucking write off next April.
Yeah, no like I kind of write off October's.
Yeah. So... I'll give a little rundown for the viewers. About 3 weeks ago.
Speaking of which, real quickly, they do send you well with wishes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, good for them.
All five of them.
Appreciate it. All five of you. Thank you so much. So basically the rundown was, I want to say it was about 3 weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago on a Thursday. I actually had a job interview in Dayton, Ohio. Cool. And on my way up, because I went from Dayton to Toledo, which is where I'm from. That's all in details I'm going to give. Whatever. Deal with it. I got in a bit of a car accident. And by car accident, I mean a semi-wheel from the southbound lane.
And you were going northbound.
Yeah. And I was going northbound and hit my car. And it basically totaled my car.
Holy fuck.
I've been trying to get another car for the past I don't know how many years. I've had this car for 11 years.
The last time I saw it, we literally started joking about how when you go to trade it in, they're going to just bring over a forklift, lift it up, and put it in a dumpster, and then roll the dumpster down a hill.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been a great car for so many years, and I kind of really wanted it to go like 200K on the odometer, but. Yeah, unfortunately, the damage done was almost entirely to my car. The only damage done to me specifically was a little bit of airbag rash on my thumb. Like I walked out, I had nothing
Well,
wrong with me, which is kind of a,
that's
you
kind
know,
of the
if you're a
point.
believer.
The car's supposed to be able to protect you from these things.
Yeah,
So
true, yes, but like if this wheel had perhaps jumped into my windshield, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we may not be talking at this moment. It's so, it's kind of a weird thing, people.
I always fucking love that. If the cut was 5 inches over and 3 centimeters deeper,
Oh.
I might have almost died.
Had that a lot in life, man. Where it's just like you can always like talk about these what ifs. It's like, well, what if that happened? What if that happened? But when it happens to you, the first thing you're thinking is like, holy shit, like that was nuts. Yeah, it was scary. It was a scary incident. My airbags went off. My car is indeed totaled via my insurance company. So that happened, and which, like I said, I walked out fine. I went to the hospital, got checked out, and they were like, yeah, you're good to go. So good on that. And if you're looking for a safe car, get an Acura. They're fantastic. We're not sponsored by Acura.
No, we are not.
But sadly, later that week, after I'd driven back down here to Columbus, I had to make an emergency trip back to Toledo because my grandmother, who had been in the hospital for about 2 weeks at the time, sadly passed away. She had a lot of issues with her lungs and her heart. She had a massive heart attack about 20 years ago. And yeah, it was just basically a lot of issues kind of came all at once. But yeah, it sucks. It was very hard seeing my mom in that kind of condition. So it was her mother that had passed, and it was super hard in trying to be strong for the family and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's tough to be around, and you almost kind of expect it at some point, and which we kind of did. My grandfather's been taking it really, really well. I think over the past year, she started developing more and more problems and more prominent problems, more larger issues, like pneumonia coming on all the time. But so I can't say it's one of those things that was, it wasn't sudden. I think it was kind of those things we were like, okay, it's going to be that time soon, which is kind of better than all of a sudden just like someone just dying all of a sudden, which sucks. I mean, it sucks anyways when anybody does that you love, obviously. But yeah, that's been my past like 2 weeks. But as I just said about 2 minutes ago, on the upswing, I did finally buy a car. I have a car in my name again, which is good. I'm not leasing a car. And I had another interview the other day.
What'd you end up getting?
Mazda 3 hatchback.
Okay, nice.
Very happy with it.
I feel like that's a very you car.
It's very sporty, kind of sexy. Yeah,
but still, yeah, bumping up to 4 doors and got more room in the back. So
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I did not get the Dayton job, so I feel like I just trashed my car for no reason on that.
Yeah,
one.
that's always that kind of.
But I had a Skype interview on Friday, and it went really well. I'm waiting for an assignment from the owner of the company, so hopefully that goes well. So we'll see. But I mean, it's kind of, back to curveballs of life. You kind of got to take those punches, and it sucks. You deal with it. But I'm a kind of a firm believer in that. Nature and life is all about the balance. Good things happen, bad things happen. When bad things happen, it really makes you appreciate the better things in life, which is. It's kind of been my mentality for over the past year, just taking the bad things, letting it hit me and dealing with it, and just saying, all right, time to look at the good in life. Here it is. And yeah, ready for a fastball now. Ready to hit that fucking fastball out of the park.
Fastball and strike. Yeah, I totally understand that from like even back in, man, what was that, 2010-ish, 2011, when my sister sister passed. That was in October.
Yeah, it was around 2010, 2011, and, absolutely.
Yeah, just like kind of all this. October just became this month where just like shitty shit happens, and like right after she passed, our dog had a seizure or a stroke. It was one or the other, and that was really tough too, and I didn't weather those things so well. I could have talked more to more people. I could have, I guess, been a bit more present about all of it because, school and jobs at the time just kind of take up can occupy your life, especially when you're away from your family. And I was, and it's, yeah, I don't know. For me, I've never been much of a family guy. Got a big family, but there's a huge generational gap between me and my older sisters, or older sister now, and brother. And so it's always been hard to relate because, like, they have kids and, big jobs and houses, big houses and things like that. And
they're adults.
Yes, exactly. Although I will at least give myself this. It seems like no matter what crowd I'm around anymore these days, I do feel like I am the most adult person in the room, which is nice. I
was hanging out with 23-year-olds all weekend.
Oh my
totally
God.
Know.
Yeah, it was very much like that. But even sometimes when I'm around like some 40-year-olds or even 50-year-olds at times, it's just like, this is how you act. And so, yeah. But then there's also the other side of curveballs where there are these super positive curveballs that can just impact your life as well when you're feeling down about things, when things are rough. And yeah, you can just have these positive things happen to you. I can't really think of the last one that happened to me, but for me, as of late, and this will come up more with catharsis, and we'll talk about that when we get to that ramble. For those of you watching, that'll be on a Wednesday or whenever the fuck you choose to watch it. For me, I think the most positive kind of curveball that's come at me as of late has been Planet Fitness, where I've been able to go and work out and actually work out without as much pain and actually reduce my pain levels because I'm working out. And yeah, it's been really huge for me. Like I said, I've been kind of trapped in my head as of late about a lot of things. And Planet Fitness, no matter what's going on there, no matter, who's in and who's there to chat with while working out, no matter what they've got going on, even if they've got problems or whatever, it's just a positive place to be. And I like it. I love it. And no matter where I kind of head to in life, that place is going to be with me. And hopefully I will be able to go there. Hopefully I don't have to part ways with it so fast, because I have heard that other locations are very different from the one that I go to and work out at. But yeah, so that's about it for me as far as curveballs go, because my life's just been kind of like just coasting along, which is nice, because actually
nice.
Of all the curveballs I could really fucking talk about, the last 4 fucking years of my life are actually one of the biggest curveballs to really hit almost anybody. Like I said, I will talk about that next week more on just kind of where I'm at with that and how that's going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, when I went to the hospital and got my, I got a CT scan checking everything out after that accident, because I was going like 77, and all of a sudden a blunt object hit me from the opposite direction. They're like, you might want to get checked out. And, it's kind of funny, well, ironic or coincidental.
We'll find out when you say whatever it is.
Yeah. I got the CT scan, and the ER doc says, like, yeah, one of your kidneys is kind of swollen. You might want to get that checked out. And he didn't seem very urgent about it.
You had kidney cysts recently.
Yeah, I did. And he said it was probably like an older injury that could have caused it, but he recommended I see a urologist, which I will do. I might try to get that appointment moved up a little bit, but still, it's like the curveball of, the accident may have turned into some sort of blessing by me going to, the hospital. And getting that checked out and realizing that maybe there is another underlying issue within me. So we'll see when that happens. I'm sure I'll give you guys an update.
I see my urologist yearly. Basically, that was back when my whole hip issue started. Like your mind immediately goes to like ball cancer, no. He just has me get checked out every year or every other year because probably got kicked in the junk way too many times when I was younger. Yeah, like there's basically calcium deposits in my man parts, and they just need to make sure those don't become a problem.
Sure.
Yeah, that really personal, but not gonna. I'm on a muscle relaxer, so like,
Oh, nice.
yeah, things aren't as grand as they typically are. And
Hey, I used to be a muscle relaxers. I know.
yeah,
What you're talking about?
well, so like, fuck, we're here anyway. Whatever. So like, starting and stopping as far as like going number one has been a bit delayed. So cyclobenzaprine pretty much does that, but my dad had prostate cancer, so that's kind of been getting on my mind. So I'll probably talk to him about that. Kids, don't delay. Like, so here's a great fucking example. To anyone out there who watches this, who watches it soon, will watch it eventually. Total Biscuit is a very popular YouTuber, and if for some reason you're watching us instead of him, what the fuck?
He fucking missed out on life then.
He had blood in his stool, and he just waited and waited, and then finally got checked out and had colon cancer. And and he's been fighting it for a while, and he continues to fight it, and it sounds like they're having success. But like, guys, don't wait on this shit. Like, your health is worth it. I am a uniquely qualified individual to be saying that.
If something bothers you, see a doctor.
Yes.
That's about it.
So, with all that in mind, Mark, let's go ahead and move on to the next ramble for this week.
Absolutely.